What's up, everybody, and welcome to another Seven Figure Photographer Live. Today is Monday, and it feels like a Monday. Mondays have gotten really, they become more, crazy. We have Mia back. She's finally back with her sun glow from Cancun. However, last week after I got off the live, I decided to change up my camera. As you can see, it's a lower angle now, and I forgot to put her camera up. So about 3 minutes ago, she was like, "Oh, do I have a camera?" So you can still hear Mia.
Hello.
She's on the mic there, but we don't have Mia on the camera today. So today we are going to talk about something exciting. I think it's exciting anyway. It's like the most boring part of.
It can be fun.
For who? For you.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about how to build an email warm-up sequence and what that's about. It's really about taking a new lead, which we've talked about 100 billion times. A new lead is...
Yeah,
this is your
a
chance.
name, an email, and a phone number.
Okay, so name, an email, and a phone number. Once you get that, how to take those new clients who've never really heard of you before, never worked with you, and you take them from a cold lead to a hot lead and get them booked in your business. So that's what we're going to talk about today. But first, let's do a little introduction. What's up, guys? For those of you who don't know me, my name is Sam Marvin, and I have been in the photography industry for 25 plus years. While I love being a creative, business is my passion, and elevating the industry of photography is my focus. I created the Seven Figure Photographer to share my journey to seven figures and to help others find their way too.
That's amazing.
All right, so let's jump in. Tim, welcome. I'm glad you're on time. This is like the second time in recent history that you've been on time. I'm just kidding. This is kind of exciting. I think it's one of those things that has plagued me for years. And so it's exciting to talk about in the fact that there's a good system for how to do this. And if it's something that you've struggled with, hopefully by the end of today, you're going to be able to go write up your email sequence, your warm-up sequence, and you're going to know what to do. Now, I've surprisingly, I always watch, and this is really interesting. I always watch like the emails that I get from companies, and I look through to see what are their email sequences, and how do they do it? Like what are they doing in comparison to what we've learned? Now, the things I'm going to teach you today are not anything new. They're not mine. They're actually something that I got from watching Russell Brunson, who is one of my mentors as far as in marketing. Love watching him. He's great. He looks like he's 12 years old, but he's great to listen to.
He's starting to look a bit older now.
Yeah, he is. So I think all the stuff that he's all the stresses he's had to deal with, it's made him look older. So ultimately, the goal, guys, and what we're going to kind of jump back to the very beginning of this video, where we were talking about like taking a lead from a cold lead to a hot lead and being able to get them prepared so that they're ready to purchase. Now, obviously, a lead, as Mia just informed us, is anytime you get a name, an email, and a phone number. Technically, you could honestly pick up somebody's business card, but that would be like a cold call lead. Like, it would definitely be a really cold lead. We're talking about people that you might meet in your everyday experiences. Somebody that you meet and is like, "Oh yeah, like I'm a senior," or we need to get family pictures, but they've never known about your business or that you exist. And so this is your opportunity to take them from a cold lead to a warm lead and to finish it up and get them booked. Now, why does this matter? Well, because honestly, we meet a lot of people out there, and especially in the photography world, everybody needs pictures. It just may not be the right time. Like, you think about every kid in school, they all need pictures, but typically they wait for photo day or they're waiting for their senior pictures. And so everybody needs pictures, but it doesn't necessarily mean that everybody's ready to get pictures right now. I've talked about the swimming pool thing in the backyard of my old house. I wanted to put a swimming pool in there. I started looking it up. I started getting lead information started getting email marketing from companies that I'd looked at and given my email to. And they were probably like, just like we are, like, "Hey, this guy called, like, why isn't he booking? Like, how often, Mia, do we deal with clients that have like literally shown a lot of interest and then never even book for like,
Until we think they're all the way done. Like the Demings, this last one.
yeah, Demi, honestly, like
you thought they were
just
gone.
had
They
done
hired
family
somebody
pictures.
else for family pictures at Christmas.
And which we don't even know like what the story behind it is, but they hired somebody else for family pictures this year. And I was like, oh, well, I guess we're probably not doing their last son's senior pictures. I'd literally written it off till the other day. All of a sudden it pops up in my email that they booked a session, which Mia was working on. I just didn't know about it. But they scheduled it, they paid their deposit and their session fee. And I was like, okay, well, I guess we're back on.
We're back on.
So you just never give up on that. And that's the purpose of like a warm-up sequence. Now that client was already like a client. They were in, like we had good experiences with them and everything. But we're talking about the people that you meet for the first time and don't know that your business exists. And the point of a warm-up sequence is to take a client or a person who you've just met and to tell them about you. Like if you meet in passing, you're not necessarily going to get to give them your life story, why you do what you do, why it's fun, how you can do it for them, like all those things. But the point of the warm-up sequence is that if you can get that intimate detail of their phone or their email address, you can market to them through that. And I know a lot of people are thinking, well, I hate how many emails I get. Honestly, I hate it too. If you looked at mine right now, let's look at how many I have on my Redbubble.
Oh, you'll probably win because I've been trying to do better.
Yeah, mine's 1,790, which normally...
I'm at 148.
Normally it's not that bad, but the last 2 weeks I have not paid attention to my email because it's just been like going crazy. So I'll get it all cleaned up soon. But email does work. And really all it takes, I've found the most important thing, is a catchy subject line. That's what does it for me. I get emails from the same companies over and over and over, and I'm just like, oh, I really need to cancel my subscription to them or just click the button and hit unsubscribe. But then all of a sudden one day they'll send something with a subject line that just piques my interest enough that I'm like, okay, I'm going to click on it. And I know that they can see that I clicked on it, not that they're checking or anything, but we're going to end up being Batman again. Well, I know, but like how many, we have leads that click and that I don't see that they've checked it until for some reason their information comes up on our system. So we're going to talk about that and what you can do to create this warm-up sequence. Now, we're going to talk about the 6 emails, what they should be, what you should write about in these emails, how long they should be, and how often you should send them out to the clients and when you should follow up with that. So that's what we're going to go over, and and then maybe if we have enough time, I'll even go into Leads Pro and build out a, I'm going to lose my voice. I'm going to turn into Batman again. We'll go into Leads Pro and we'll build out a, wow, this is bad. An automation. Maybe I should drink some water here. Hopefully that'll help me not die. Okay, so number 1. Actually, let's jump back. How soon should you email a person after you get their information? And how are you getting their information? Well, this is actually a good time to use like your lead magnet. So, for instance, photographers notoriously buy. Wow, I hope I can make it through this one. Photographers notoriously buy what to wear guides, and they use what to wear guides. Hopefully this will work. I'm going to put it in. Hopefully it's not loud. And this feels like it's been in your pocket for like 10 years.
No, 4.
Just 4 years. It's literally stuck to the paper. Oh my goodness, I can't believe I'm doing this.
The things he does for you.
This, yeah, I can't do it.
Whatever.
It's like it's stuck to the paper. It's not terrible. Oh, I have some in that one. Okay. So lead magnets using like a what to wear guide. Now the purpose of a what to wear guide I think is different than what most photographers believe and use them for. They use them just to give good information to clients or to send out to their newly booked clients, when in fact the point of a what to wear guide is a lead magnet. Creating a page or some sort of something on your LinkedIn page to where you can on social media say, hey, check out our what to wear guide. Feel free to grab it by the link in our bio. And they go in, and the way they get it is to give you their email address. Now, oftentimes, this is going to be fun. Oftentimes, those email addresses go completely unused. Like, what is the point of it? Tasha says, so email over text marketing. No, email with text marketing. And I'm going to talk to you about how powerful it can be when you use it in conjunction with or together. But there's some interesting, and I'm going to kind of get off track a little bit here for a second. There's some interesting statistics about email versus SMS marketing. Email marketing is typically a 20% open rate, whereas text message is a 98% open rate. But everybody consumes content differently. And so when you can be in all the places for people to consume content, then you win. And that's kind of the idea. So if you can be an email and you just happen to say something over email that they finally open up, or maybe they just absolutely love your warm-up sequence and they want to read everything about it, then that's great. Or maybe you use that as an opportunity and you have a call to action that adds them to your text message marketing, and you can send them a text message. So we're going to talk about all that. But let's first start out with what do we do once we have that cold lead or that lead from our lead magnet? Well, now we're going to reach out to that client and we're going to reply to them. If they've just signed up for our email list, you're going to automatically send them an email immediately. And that first email is really going to be just about who you are. Now, I would not make, especially depending upon your demographic, like who you're dealing with, or I guess not demographic, your target client. Who are you dealing with? I can tell you this much. I don't think high school kids are going to read through a big, long email. So how long do you make them? A couple of sentences is really good. In fact, even the least amount of extras you put on there, not even putting a logo on there, like some of those things make it more likely. Like if it looks more like an actual, just an email that came through, people are more likely to read them. I don't personally like to do that. I like to make them pretty. And that's another thing that slows me down because I don't like how pretty they look when, yeah. So anyway, so the number one is, who are you? And this is just a great opportunity for you to say, hey, it was great meeting you, or hey, I'm glad you downloaded our What to Wear guide, or whatever it is. It was great to meet you. I told you that I would send you this email, and I just wanted to tell you a little bit about who I am, okay? So these people just met you, or they may not have even met you. They're just getting to know you. And so send them a quick, easy email number one that says, I'm Sam Marvin, and I'm a photographer. And I photograph predominantly high school seniors. And that's literally what your first email is. Your second email is going to be, where did you come from? Like, what's your story? And this is an email that's going to give you an opportunity to tell them a little bit more information about how you got into photography. For me, the story is that, like, I mean, if you want to get really deep, and you can even use videos. What's that?
I'd say that's what we do. So we put the link into the
video. And so you can get deeper, and you can even have videos. One of the great things about email marketing is having those, well, even SMS marketing, is having those links and being able to see how often people click on those links and how impactful they are. But if you link to, you give them a small tidbit, like for instance, my story is kind of like how epilepsy kind of got me into photography, because my brother was hit by a car and he had brain damage and was diagnosed with epilepsy. And he bought me my first camera because he got money from the state, and like I teased him a lot and whatever, like that sounds a lot worse than it really is. If you want to go watch the video, maybe Mia will put the link up. So that's what's called an origin story. And that's just really where you came from. Now, don't make it long. Maybe, condense it down to a short couple of sentences about how you became a photographer and why, or where did you come from? What's your origin story? That's what we're calling it. Would you say adding video of your story would be more impactful or getting their attention better than just having it typed out? Absolutely. Because honestly, video right now is winning. Video is everything right now. And so I think that adding that video option, so you could totally do like a couple of sentences about who you or where you came from, your origin story, and really condensed. But if you want to learn more, check out the video that I included in this link, and have a nice either a video embedded in your email, or have, if you put a picture in there that looks like the YouTube video screen, but the picture is a link, it can take you to the video. And video is powerful. You should know that already. I think you do. So that is email number 2. Email number 3 is, what do you do? Okay, we kind of touched on that in email 1, who are you? Email 3 is, what do you do? And that's where you get into more about what you do as a photographer. What makes you different? Why do you, we're not going to talk about why you do what you do, but the aspect of what you do as a photographer or as a business owner or whatever you do, and who it serves. So that's a great opportunity to talk about. You know, I'm a portrait photographer. I predominantly work with high school seniors. We really help people slow down time in that time where parents are struggling with their kids moving on in the world and leaving them behind. So that's kind of what that email is about. Again, having all these emails should have some sort of call to action. The only one that you don't necessarily need a call to action in is that first email, just an introduction. And I would have a different call to action in all of them, giving them like a video to watch, and then maybe even having a question at the end, or whatever. One thing that I do with my my number 2, my origin story, is I actually, in my emails, if you guys have ever gotten my 7FP emails, at the end it says, I would love to hear your story, and send me an email back with your story. And I haven't gotten a lot of emails back, but I've gotten some, and they're really interesting to read, and I honestly love it. But just that call to action, tell me about your story. Reply to this email and tell me about your story. And it can be really powerful. Number 4, how do you do it? And that's pretty, honestly, like, pretty cut and dry. How do you do what you do? Well, if you guys were at Sync last year, you saw the video. This is another great opportunity to add the video in there. Again, keeping your emails short and condensed, and throwing video in there. Last year I had a video at Sync that showed kind of our day, and that's a great opportunity. So kind of give a short and condensed version of how we do our senior pictures. And you can have different email warm-up sequences for different parts of your business. Let's say for families being different than seniors, or headshots being different than seniors, you can have different email sequences. So so how do you do it? That's just really all about how you do the part of your business that they would be able to take part in, and then include that video. That one's kind of like, that one's a shortened, simple, not hard to figure out. Number 5 is, who do you do it for? Obviously, we've already mentioned seniors, we've already mentioned headshots, but who do you do it for? This is an opportunity to really outline who your target client is, and give them an opportunity to see, do I fit in that range? Like, am I the right person for this? And if sometimes when people are reading through this email and they're like, oh my gosh, like that suits me. That's exactly what I need, or that's exactly who I am. And so just really being detailed about who you do it for. And obviously for senior pictures, we're going to talk about in that email, we're going to talk about how, parents are struggling with the fact that you're growing up. Here's another opportunity to have 2 different warm-up sequences, because you could have a warm-up sequence for the seniors versus the parents. And those words are going to be different. You're going to be talking to those people differently. And your email to the parent might be a little bit longer than your email to the student, because the student is not going to, you're not going to have as much interest for as long of time. So who do you do this for? And this is a great opportunity to show a case study. Like tell a story about how you did pictures and how it impacted somebody's life. Like Mallory's story would be
Mallory,
a
yeah.
great opportunity. Our senior that went with us to Cabo, and in the pool, Mom talked about how this was the first time that she's gotten to see her daughter the way she's used to be. And to see them on Facebook and see, like, right now they just went down to Vegas for a big modeling thing, and like just to see that was all kind of started by what we do. So find those stories and how those stories that really just kind of touch your own heart, and figure out a way to put it into the email, and maybe even make a video of it and put it in there as well. And so we're talking about 6 total emails. That's 6, not 5. The last one is, I gotta look at my notes here. How can I do it for you? Or how can I do it for you? So the email is specifically about how I, as a photographer, can serve you and fulfill your needs. So take that for what it's worth. That's kind of a hard one to explain, but really just about how talking about how your photography could serve them and how it could help them specifically. You just talked about who you serve, what types of people. Now let's talk about how it could help them specifically. Now, obviously, you're not going to know those people individually, but you're going to have a general idea of how your business can help them, or how it can be of benefit to them. We all know that every senior has to get senior pictures, so that's how you can work for them. Okay, so I'm going to go through the list really quick. Number 1, who you are. Number 2, where did you come from? And that's your origin story. Number 3, if you guys want to see a really funny origin story, my very first 7FP video, if you go into the Facebook group and you go to the very first, I think it's the very first video or second video, I do my first origin story, which is still kind of on the same boat, I think, with the epilepsy thing. But the epilepsy is they're a little bit different for 7FP versus for Samuel Marvin Photography. But yeah, go watch them. It's pretty comical. It's really. I was doing my first live and there was literally nobody on, and I was just talking to myself, and I made it very well known. It was pretty funny. And then I used to do live and drives. Do you remember that?
Those.
Okay, so I got off track. Number 1, who are you, or who you are. Number 2, where did you come from, your origin story. Number 3, what do you do? So you're a photographer. Number 4, how do you do it? Number 5, who do you serve? And number 6, how can you do it for me? Now, I'm going to give you a couple of details about the important aspects of this. Number 1, what do you like with each one of these emails? Make sure that at the end of the email, give them an idea of what's coming. People get tired of seeing, like, just if you're on Amazon, like if you've ever gone and unsubscribed to Amazon, they have like a list of stuff that you have to. Yeah. It's like, okay, well, I don't want to receive this 4 times a day. Mm-hmm. This one goes out once a week. This one goes out 6 times a day. Okay, so they give you kind of an outline for how often they're going to get these emails. And in your email at the very end, if you say, hey, I'll be back tomorrow and I'll tell you why I do. So if you're in the first one, who are you? Tomorrow I'll share a story about you, or share a story with you about where I came from or how I got into photography. Okay, and then define, when you write out these 6 emails, determine your subject line for each one of them and tell them specifically at the bottom of the email, tomorrow's email you'll see in your inbox titled this subject line. Okay, so if you're on the second email tomorrow, you'll see an email from me that says where did you come, or where did you come from, or whatever you decide that subject line is going to be. So basically at the bottom of the email, tell them they're going to get another email tomorrow, and then this is what it's going to be subject line. Do that with each one of them so that they know what's coming next and they can kind of look forward to it. So watch for my email tomorrow titled this. Okay, so that's one thing you want to do. How often do you send out these emails? And that's always like a good question. Like that's one thing that held me back. I was like, well, what's your sequence? The sequence that I'm going to give you is 11222. So the very first one is going to go out as soon as, on day one, it's going to go out as soon as they fill out the lead magnet, or if you put in the information. You can even automate it to where if it's a manually entered lead, you have it set up to automatically send email number one or in a different workflow and then transfer over to that other workflow. And so you can put it in, I know this is getting really deep, but you can have it come in at a different spot. So day one, you send out the first email, you send the next email a day later. So those are the only two that you do 2 days like in a row. And then it's 2 days in between for the rest of them. So 2 days for, so email one on the same day, email 2 the next day, email 3 2 days later, email 4 2 days after that, and email 5 2 days after that, email 6 2 days after that. Now, what do you do after that? After that, I would set it up to send them maybe an email or have them move over to your regular newsletter and send them an email. You have to decide, what does your email newsletter like consist of? Ours is kind of more for our past clients.
Sort of.
Sort of.
Ours is dependent upon, our warm-up is dependent on what they click when it gets to that last one. So when they get to the last one, depending on which link they click on, puts them into either this automation or this automation or this automation.
And that's one thing that Mia just brought up that's really important. The call to action at the bottom is, especially on the last email, it could be like, would you like to book a session with Samuel Marvin Photography? Or would you not? And if they click no, have it take them into a different sequence. If they click yes, then it takes them into a whole nother sequence. I know that part's probably confusing you guys, but I'm going to talk about it here in a second. So 11222 is your delivery. And then after that, every 2 weeks, you could send them another email. If you get to a point where you have a client that's, how long do we wait before we send them the 9-word email? Or is that really?
It depends. Like, so if they've gone through that portion and they clicked that they were interested at some point.
Yeah.
Then probably about, I'd say like 3 months after my last
communication.
Yeah, response or something.
So, and I know I've talked about the 9-word email or the 7-word email. Yeah. It's really just a simple email. And this is good to do in follow-up with clients that have reached out and said, I want to book or want more information, but then they ghost you. You send them a couple of emails, and then after a while, you send them one last email that says, hey, are you still interested in blank, senior pictures, boudoir, whatever. Yeah. Are you still interested? That's all you send them. No logos, nothing, just a simple email. And you'd be surprised at how well it oftentimes works. We've had that. We actually booked a
few last year.
What was our Tux kid?
Oh, Caden Fricks.
Caden Fricks, yeah. We booked them off the 9-word email.
And from them, we got Beckley's.
Well, we got Beckley's and we got Owens, yeah.
Yeah, so that was a great example.
So there's a good example that saved that generated
2 more great,
like an extra $15,000-$20,000 worth of business.
Yeah, because the Beckleys are coming in today for family session stuff.
So that's kind of your layout on all this. Now, how do you do it? How do you set it up? I'll give you a quick. Actually, I don't think I can do it. Can I? Actually, yes. I got an idea. I'll jump in real quickly to Leads Pro and show you. Let's see if I can do this. Okay. I think if. Let's see if. Aha. Okay. So I'm going to try to do a little picture-in-picture here. Maybe. On. there's a picture-in-picture there. Okay, so let's try upper corner on. There. Okay, let's actually go to the other side. So what we're going to do, I'm going to show you just real quickly. This automation is very similar to how you would set up other automations through stuff like MailChimp, stuff like that. So what we're going to do is we're just going to create a quick workflow, and we're going to put a trigger in there, and we'll just do a start from scratch. So the trigger, what the trigger is we could do contact tag, and so what we do is when somebody signs up for our what to wear guide, they're automatically tagged with W2WG, which is right here. And so when a customer receives this tag, we're going to send out an email. Okay. We're just going to call this email 1, and I'm not going to get too crazy. So, who did I do exclamation? Email 1, who you are. Okay. We're going to save that one. Oh dear. I have to have a subject.
That would be your who you are.
Yeah, I'll do that for this one. Okay. There's an issue in some of your fields. Please fix them before saving. Okay, fine. It's going to make me... We'll just put everything in here. Save action. Just kidding. Who you are. What am I missing? Test. There we go. Okay. So email 1, who you are. This one's going to go out immediately once the tag is created. So if they, now also the what to wear guide automatically sends the email with the what to wear guide, but they're also going to get an email that says who you are. We can also put in here just like a quick wait. And we could wait like 3 hours. Okay. So it's just a time delay, and then they're going to get that first email. Then we're going to wait another day. Oh dear, I'm fat fingering everything. So we're going to wait 1 day. And we want this to go out. I don't care what day, but we want it to go out from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. So what this does is it just stops, like, if the 1 day mark is actually, like, let's say they're doing it in the middle of the night, and the 1 day mark puts it at like 12:05 in the morning, this holds it off until 8 a.m. before it sends it. Okay, so let's save that action. Then we're going to do email 2. We're going to send an email, and let's just do this and test. What?
And then go, keep going.
Okay. And then here is, for Tasha, if you're still here hanging out with us, here's a great opportunity to instantly follow it up with an SMS. And what you would do is, I hope you are enjoying your what to wear guide. What was your favorite part? Or favorite style? Or what style did you decide? This is not like specific. You were based on the guide. If you haven't seen it, check your email. Okay. So that's kind of just a simple adding a text message into there. Now, because we've sent email 2, we're going to add email 3, and we're just going to go all the same information here, test, and we're going to actually we're going to add a wait time in there, and we're going to do our 2 day wait. And for funsies, we're going to put the advanced window in there, add Sunday and Saturday, 9 a.m. We're going to go 8. Oh, it doesn't work that way. Okay. 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Okay. So, as you can see, this is a great way to do it. You can kind of sprinkle some SMS in there. When you get to the bottom, you can put specific triggers or if-else triggers in here. So let's just say if-else, and we decide we want to say they clicked on a, let's see, custom details. Okay, let's go with a tag. So say, for instance, there's a link or they watch a very specific video and that triggers, like, say they click on a video or on a link to watch a video and you have it automatically tag them with a new tag. You can add a condition in here where if they have that tag, they go one way versus if they don't have the tag, they go another way. You can also do like positive negatives. That's all getting into a whole lot more stuff, but I won't go too deep into that. But anyway, that's kind of a simple, basic understanding of how to create a workflow for your email automation, for your drip. Now, you can do this through lots of different softwares. I think MailChimp is probably the cheapest and easiest, but they're a lot harder to set up.
It's the cheapest to start with, but they limit you pretty quick.
Okay.
But yeah. ActiveCampaign is more expensive. ConvertKit is how ConvertKit does it. They're kind of in between the two.
Yeah. Okay. So that's just kind of give you some simple reference on how to set that up. Of course, it's kind of like with those, you're gonna learn the program. So most of them work with the number of emails you have. But guys, I think one of the biggest mistakes that a lot of us make is we spend all this time building a following on social media. But as we experienced a couple of years ago, when something changes, all of that social media, like whether it be just an algorithm on social media or Instagram decides that they want to chase video more than they want to chase pictures, and then they go back to pictures, it's a mess. Russell Brunson refers to this as the Thanos' snap. I get what the concept is, but I don't know about Thanos' snap. They can change it at any time, and you don't own any of the contacts on your social media. And so if you can make it a priority to drive people from social media into your email list or into your text message marketing list, that will change a lot of things. Now, you can do the exact same thing, and we could probably do this on one of the next lives, doing an SMS drip campaign. It's really set up the same way. We can just do it as you create a keyword, and if the client comes in with a keyword, you guys have seen us do it many times. Like we'll do keyword business book of the month, which I just realized I haven't done. Book of the month.
Business book of the month.
I haven't done that in a long time.
Let's say it one more time, just so he remembers.
So you can set it up for a keyword, and that keyword can automatically create a tag that then sends out automations. You can do that in Buzzy Text. You can do that in Simple Text. You can do it through Leads Pro here, which I haven't talked about, but I'll talk about it at some point in time. So if you're on here, you get a little sneak peek. But that's pretty much it. I'm going to go ahead and swap back to me. So hopefully that was some beneficial information. If you're struggling with what to do on your email drip campaign or your warm-up sequence, reach out to me. Like there's a couple of different things I can do to help you get dialed in on that. If you want to send it to me, have me look over it, I can do that. There's a lot of options. If you need help getting something set up with email marketing, reach out to me. I can help you with that. But just do it. Like this is something that you can build once and you can just walk away from it. I would check because we have links that change every now and then. And so some of those things get broken
Well, I think the important thing with these, at least from my standpoint, where I do a lot of that behind the scene works, is year to year, like we have that influencer drip and it stays pretty much the same every year. And I have it in Google, so I can go and change the people out. Like this year you're meeting this person and this person, but the whole sequence is already set up and it saves so much time because the rest of it, the FSA information, the quarter one's over, like all that stuff stays exactly the same. And you just update it year after year and that way you're not redoing the whole thing. Yeah. Like you can save so much time.
And it should, for the most part, that should be an evergreen campaign that you don't have any problems with. It should all stay the same.
One, yeah.
If you focus on making sure that it's not anything time specific, then you can really set it and forget it. And you just have certain tags or certain links that bring you into this campaign. You could even have a great way to do this is to have anytime a customer goes onto your website and fills out a contact us form, automatically drop them into that warm-up sequence. And you might change, you might have the same sequence but copied, like just copy the sequence, and maybe you have a different start for one versus the next. And what I mean by that is like if somebody's coming into your contact us form, they're filling out the form because they now know about you. And so your start out may not be, hey, it was great to meet you today.
Right.
It might be something more like, and so it's okay to have drip sequences in multiple different things. And really, once you do it once, all you have to do is change that first email. And so I think there's ways in Leads Pro to build it out to where you could have it like you just build one campaign, but the first trigger
it's different. That's how Active Campaign is. So like if we have people come for like our mini session, they're interested in an influencer program, they drop here first. And then once they hit this button, it drops them into the influencer one.
So calls to action on all of them is vitally important. The great thing about CTAs is that you can track them. And so if you put trackable links in there and you can see, okay, that's a good indicator that people are interested if they've dropped into your campaign or into your warm-up sequence and on the second email they clicked on a link. That means that they're actually paying attention, or maybe they clicked on a link for email 4. That means that they're reading through those emails and they're paying attention, because the hardest thing about this is that you set it and forget it and you're like, is it even doing anything?
Yeah.
And a lot of times it's hard to see, like when a client comes through, that they actually started there or that helped them. So sometimes it is like a silent, like salesman, if you will. And you don't even know that it's really doing the work, but I'd hate for it to not be there because it is such a valuable thing. And I think that it does a lot more for us than we ever knew. There's a lot of different things you can do that will really, where you can double up on it. You can send them a text campaign, make it a little bit different. Honestly, for the seniors, I would almost set it up as a text campaign over, because we get a lot better response out of our text campaign with our seniors. Yeah. And we do that by literally like going to games and having the QR code on the back to get to win like a free Dutch card. People scan it, they send football or whatever in, and it puts them into a drip sequence so that they are automatically informed about certain things. Or one of the things that I do, and this is kind of getting into a whole nother thing, but one of the things that I do with it is I'll tag people. And so you can do tag or keywords. You can do keywords to the same text message system to where when you basically say, hey, tell us what school you go to, you can have it tag them with the high school. That's one that I'm working on right now. With Leads Pro, the nice thing is that you can do phrases. And so even if they respond in Facebook or Instagram or text message, it tags them with the school or the year. And so then you can mark it to just those specific years. So it's pretty cool. Anyway, that's all I got for you guys today.
Actually, I'm going to have you wait. Can you talk about, I don't remember the name of the program that we use to run the email through to make sure that you don't come up as a junky site? Tasha and I were having a conversation. What's that one that we use? Sorry, putting you on the spot there.
Yeah, and I can't
But
remember.
there is
Are you talking about the one to verify that Like it's not running the emails through specifically, but you put your email in and it tells you your score.
Yes. And that's what Tasha needs to know. She was talking about the links and having links or video drop you into somebody's junk. That's not what drops you into the junk. It's other things to do with your authority.
I think it's mailtester.com. It is. Okay, so I'll actually bump in here to this and I'll show you kind of how it works. Okay, so we're up here. And how it works is what you do, it's mail-tester.com. And I'm kind of scared to do this. So what you do is you come in here and you copy this email address. And then you come over to your email and you're going to do a new email. Actually, and we're just going to send the email to test. Sorry, I got a whole bunch of stuff open here. I'll get rid of it. Don't look at my okay. And then subject, I'm not even going to put anything in subject. I'm just going to put test. All you do is you send an email to this company. You send anyway. And then we're going to come back over here. And then you're going to check your score. Okay, so what it's doing is it's basically, it determines your deliverability and your email score. So if your email address is associated with a lot of spam or garbage or whatever, it's going to score. Oh, shit, we're back down.
We are?
Yeah, we're at 3.2 out of 10. Oh, wait, what email did I send it from?
I don't know. Oh, I'm like scrolling like I can scroll and check.
Let me see. Sent. Where did I send that to? Wait, if I go new one. Okay, we did it from the wrong one. That's why. Oh, that had me all stressed out.
Well, but you're on the same one.
I'm going to, I got to redo the, okay. So if you send it to the wrong email, then you get screwed.
Well, you just learned that you're not as good as you think you are.
Yeah. Okay, so now I know that my Mac email, it sucks. So we're going to go back into email.
Watch it come out lower. I'm going to laugh.
Right. Test and then send that one off. And I think it'll only let you do 2 in a day from one IP address.
But this is important to do like probably every 6 months, I would say.
Or even
probably maybe
more
3
common.
if you wanted to.
Yeah, like more often. Okay, so this is my Sam at Samuel Marvin, which is a lot of what our emails go out from, or at least that web-based, same thing, 3.2 out of 10.
Huh.
What is, okay, that doesn't matter. Let's talk about like what you can do with this. And so it actually gives you options to see what's wrong with it and why it came back as bad. So this one, Spam Assassin thinks you can improve. It says that it gave me a negative 2.8. And then it gives you all these things that you can do to fix.
Oh, yeah, you didn't put a valid signature in it. So part of it is your composition.
Yeah, some of it is just the composition. SamuelMarvin.com does not allow your server 209.85.216. So some of this stuff you might be like, holy crap, I don't even know what that is, Sam. But just Google it. Like, look at it. So it says you do not have a DMARC record. So if we just come over here to Google and say, what is a DMARC record? I think this is what I did last time. Says DMARC record is a text entry within the DNS record that tells the world your email domain's policy after checking SPF and DKIM. Authenticates for either SPF, DKIM, or both. So then you know, okay, well, how do I get a DMARC record on my DNS? And that's all. It's
just time. Sit there.
It just takes a little bit of time to figure it out, but you can do it, and you can. This is really valuable to understand this stuff because I actually have had a lot of people say that my stuff's been going to spam lately.
Yeah, I would say go down and check that backlist one.
Oh yeah, you're listed in 2 backlists. Host Karma.
Right there.
What? Sorbs. I don't even know what those are.
Those are last 48 hours, though.
Hmm.
Last 28 days. Yes, I'll
So,
look that up.
but again, this is really just an opportunity to see, and you could probably even post on Facebook and say, hey, does anybody know anything about email deliverability? And this, how did we come across this? I was complaining to somebody.
We were doing something last time, and it kept getting, like, things
Oh,
weren't
it
going
was
well.
it was Tim from Pixify. I was like, everything is going to
yeah.
junk, and he's like, well, according to
Whatever,
he
you
said
have a
send an
low-
email to this, and then he pulled it up and said, according to this, your email score is 3.2, which it's down bad. We had it up to we
eight,
fixed
I
it and
thought.
had it up to like 8 or 9.
Yeah, I thought we were at 8 or 9.
And so
that's kind of the goal.
that's a good thing to check out and see where you're at and how that can help. But Tasha, it all takes time. If you devote a little bit of time to everything, a lot of these things and a lot of what I'm going to talk more about is automation, which means you're going to set it up one time and you're going to walk away from it, and it should just do its job. And we're talking about stuff like one of the things I have to do for the escape room on a regular basis, and it drives me nuts, is I have to go in and see how many people came in. I have to send out an email for reviews, and then I have to go in and comment on the reviews. I've literally set up automations to just do all that. So all I have to do is download the list and put it into a Google file, and then I have automations that take care of everything, including using AI to respond to the reviews so that I don't have to go in and respond to the reviews. So,
well, and I think that goes to what Tim was saying. He says that this is way more detailed than what he's used to. But if you really just take that time and set it up, it's more detailed because you don't understand it yet. But if you take that time, it'll be so more powerful, because he's like, this is easier. It might be easier right now, but this is more powerful.
Easier?
What he's using right now, what he's used to.
Oh,
And
I
I'm
think
just saying
he's
he's using sticky.
Yeah, sticky albums.
But just anywhere in general.
Yeah.
Like, if you're not doing this sort of a system, it is going to be more complicated. But once you get it done, it's far more powerful than just sitting there and rewriting an email every time you want to write an email.
Well, Sticky Albums actually does have email marketing.
That's what he does.
And they have the funnels and stuff. But again, whether or not the deliverability of
But it's just the
Sticky albums
concept
and
is what I'm
stuff.
saying. Yeah, it might sound more difficult, but the concept, once you get
is
it,
the same.
it's the same.
Yeah, it's all pretty. It's definitely not simple.
No.
This stuff plagued me for ages and ages until we finally just started doing it. And I think when we watched that video from, what was her name? Yeah,
Oh, yeah, that girl. And then I sat down with Matt at Sync one year. And that's when we came back from that Sync. Because he was like, you've got to get on this. And I'm like, okay, fine.
on which?
On the email, like setting up the automations and stuff.
Oh.
On your birthday at Sync at that one time, Matt and I sat down and started talking about emails for...
Yeah. Her name was, I just had it here and I can't. Oh, Yara Golden. That was who.
Yeah, that was
who
my other one.
talked about this specific warm-up sequence. And it was like, okay, now that I have an understanding of the, like, what I need to accomplish, instead of just like, what do you say for 6 emails that's going to be of any value? This gives you at least some outline.
Yeah.
And gives you some idea on what to do to make it work, and what people are going to want to see. That's the cool thing, is these are tested. Like, they've tested over hundreds of thousands of emails to determine what works best.
Well, and you can use that sequence over. So, like, if you're doing the Christmas minis, it's not Sam is the focus. It's Christmas minis as the focus. So, what is
it's
the
a
Christmas
basic drip
minis
sequence.
Why did you do them?
And then, of course, the one place that people, you have to consider, okay, that's for a cold lead. Like that's why it's called a warm-up sequence, is to warm up the lead. But you can have a different sequence for people that are, like, for instance, Instagram, like people that have been following us on Instagram that know about us, that are just at a different spot, and they're more ready to purchase or more ready to hire us for what they want to do. There you go, Tim. That's what's important, honestly, is just get it done. Yeah, and that's absolutely, she's 100% correct in that. Don't limit yourself from fear of changing, because all these things, like I used to be terrified of new programs, like new software, because it takes so long to learn all of them. It's just like Pixify but I've gone through so many of them to where now I'm like, if somebody tells me, like I had, I think it was Craig Lee, he was like, I use, was it Sprout Studio? And I jumped in, and in like a couple of hours, I don't think
It wasn't even that long.
It was like an hour and a half. I figured out pretty much the majority of the program and reached back out to him, and I was like, you just got to do this, this, and this. And he was like, wait, what? But sometimes I think I did a video about this, like what percentage of the programs are you using? And if you have these resources, like we just added a new software that I'll be talking about here soon, that literally does a lot of the other programs that I was only using like a small percentage of, because so many programs, it's like Active Campaign, you need it for email marketing, right? And for the automations in there, but it's ridiculously expensive. But it also does some text, it does some like of the automatic
It did other things, but we didn't use them.
Yeah, and that's the thing. We were paying $280 a month for it, $290 a month, and we were basically using it for email marketing, and there was options out there that did it better. So if you can learn new things, and switching over to new things sucks.
It does.
Ask Mia, she hates it when I switch things.
I love it. He's always like, I found a new thing. I'm like, nope.
She's like, oh, hell.
Nope.
So, because I'm like, I teach her how to do it. I'm like, okay, you do it.
So not fair.
You set it up. So anyway, that's all I got for you guys today. I hope you have a wonderful week. I won't be here next week because, 2 weeks? Why, what's the Monday after?
That's spring break. That's what I was saying. You'll be gone for 2 weeks.
Oh, okay.
Unless you're going to do one.
I might do one on spring break, but I won't be here next week. I'm going to be at a bass fishing tournament. Yeah.
Work hard to play hard.
Yep. And then I say Mia can do it for you. I don't think Mia wants to be here if I'm not here.
Not particularly, but I will be anyway.
And
I kind of work here.
she has to have, if I'm taking the week off for spring break, she's got to do stuff with her kids. Or are you even going to have your kids?
I do have the kids for spring break. I'm excited.
Didn't you have them last year for spring break? No, they went to St. George, didn't they?
Yeah, they went with my in-laws.
Okay. All right, guys. That's all we got for you. Peace out, Girl Scout. I'm going to try to hit all the buttons right this time. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to switch back over to this and then hit the outro.